everyone. Thanks for tuning in to another edition of Chamber Chat. I'm the hostess of the show, Lauren Grymek, and the executive director of the Melrose Chamber of Commerce. And as you know from watching our show over many seasons, the show is dedicated to our Melrose Chamber members. Those are small businesses and nonprofits in and around Melrose, Massachusetts, doing incredible work. And during this incredible time, if this is your first time watching in a while, you'll see that we are not on the set at MMTV, but we're going virtually in order to bring you all the information you need to keep learning about Melrose. And on this episode, I'm really, really excited to introduce to you the Friends of the Melrose Public Library. And with me representing the Friends is Dr. Kimberly Talbot.
Hi, Lauren. It's so great to be here.
It is great to see you, and thank you because you are doing so much incredible work throughout the town in many roles that you play. But today we are going to talk about the Friends, and I always open it up to let viewers know what is the Friends of the Melrose Public Library.
So, Lauren, the Friends of the Melrose Public Library is a not-for-profit, as you mentioned, and we are dedicated to supporting the Melrose Public Library. So we do that by raising awareness in our community of all of the services and programs and resources that's available at our library and in the library structure, so virtually as well. And we're really focused on raising money to help support the services, programs, and resources and materials for the library and its patrons that aren't covered under the city budget.
Sure. So tell me a little bit about some of the kind of major fundraising, either events or programs that you kind of run that I'm sure people are familiar with, but don't really know. It's like Friends behind the scenes.
Well, a couple of years ago, we ran a mini golf fundraiser in January at the library. Music, to having that again in another couple of years. You might also know us by our corner position at the Victorian Fair. We have a table set up there to raise awareness for the library and some of its programmings that happen. But maybe where you know us the most is for the 3 book sales that we run annually. So the Friends has an incredible group of volunteers, so Linda, Carol, and Tanis, who work all year long gathering book donations to set up in a sale on the library lawn for the Victorian Fair. We missed ours in May 2nd. We were staying home, staying safe, but we usually have a spring book sale as well. And in the last couple of years, we've run it in conjunction with the Home for the Holidays in the library building itself up on the 2nd floor.
And that's great. I love those events in particular because it's kind of like you never know what you're going to find. And, you know, if you go into like, say, a traditional bookstore, usually, or at least when I do, I have a sense of like what I'm going to get, right? I kind of go in knowing either the authors or whatnot. But what I love about the sales is you browse and all of a sudden you're like, I've heard of this book and I wanted to read it, or I've never heard of this book and just the cover alone makes me want to read it. And there's really something for everyone at the book sales as well.
There is, for sure. What I love about the book sales as well is the books are donated by Melrose residents. So in this historic town, people who are cleaning out like attics or basements, or I mean, just our community members have such a variety of interests and passion. And with the new, like, let's get everything sort of cleaned out of our space, the inventory we have is so incredible. And it goes to CDs and DVDs and movies and all kinds of things. So there definitely is something for everyone. And the next book sale is going to be unbelievable. We have a huge stack of stuff to share with the public.
It definitely will. And I mean, and it's, you know what, you kind of hit on 2 things, like, because of like, it's the donations and it's coming from Melrose residents. I love that the event is so community-based and grassroots. And, you know, in another conversation, we can talk about our sustainability, but just as a community, like, reuse is such an important thing that we do. So these old books that someone doesn't want anymore, or new books that someone doesn't want anymore, can get a second life, which is really incredible. And I support that, and I'm glad you guys are doing it. So tell me a little bit about the structure of the Friends. You know, so like the structure of the chamber is we have like a paid staff and a volunteer board of directors. So tell us a little bit about the structure of the Friends.
Yeah, so the structure of the Friends is that it's an all volunteer board, and we have a board of directors, but we have open meetings to the public, and we invite the public in as much as we can. If you've donated, if you've supported the Friends in the past, you're on our email blast and list, and you'll be invited to meetings where we kind of plan fundraising ideas and think about, get to hear from Linda Gardner about what the library is doing with our funding and what they need and some exciting plans for the future. But it's an all volunteer board. We don't have a paid staff at all. And we really work together to make sure that the library programs are supported in a way that promotes outreach to the community.
Sure. And so, it's really great because you're all volunteer, you fundraise, and then that allows the library to also put on a variety of great free programs, right? From children's programming to having authors series comes in. So kind of all ages benefit from, some of the programming that you guys get to put on.
Oh yeah, it's really exciting. That new teen room, if you have been in the library lately, they reimagined the teen room, and the designer and the furniture was funded by the Friends. And that teen room is hopping all the time. It's really cool. You might also have noticed before sort of like the world slowed down in March, the Friends had helped to fund some hotspots for the library to have ready to donate to its members, which is pretty cutting edge. We add to their CD loaner connection. And we also just voted to allocate another huge section of funding for Overdrive, which is the library's sort of digital, their contribution to the Noble's digital collection. Yep. And so we've added more resources to that as, of course, the demand has grown. Plus, it's fun to see Friends skip an ice cream at the end of the summer reading party and things like that. And speaking of summer reading, this year, the Friends are sponsoring a new way so that we can summer read virtually together. The library is super excited about that. We're going to use Beanstalk, which is a virtual program that lets teens, adults, kids keep track of their summer reading virtually. Great. So they can compete for badges and virtual prizes. And yeah, we're going to really try to bring the community together, whether we can be in person or whether it can be virtual. So we're excited to bring that to the community as well.
I love that. It sounds like you guys are definitely, sort of supporting the tradition of the library with, programs and obviously, the joys that come from reading and learning, but realizing that the world, around us changes all the time, and there is a way to balance that with the modernization of things and the technology and things like that. And I've heard of that program. My brother was doing it over last summer, with how many books he was going to read. And I said to myself, okay, I'm going to do that next summer. So now I really have to do it because it'll be like a full-on kind of family affair.
Yeah, for sure.
I love that. And so in your role, you get to then see kind of a lot of, things coming down the pipeline for the library, or, what are some things that you wish kind of the community knew about the Friends? We've learned a lot already, but like, what's a couple of the messages that you wish people out there knew about the Friends and or about the library itself?
Well, so the library is a vibrant place, whether we're in person together in real life or whether we're virtual and digital. And so I want to remind people that resource is there for you. There's some great digital historical collections. It's a beautiful space. We get to come back together again. They've got a great puzzle set up. That's a nice little community builder. So I want people to keep remembering that the library virtually and physically is really a pillar of any community, and certainly in Melrose, right? It is a pillar of our community. I think another thing I'd like to keep in mind is that we're all friends of the library, right? We all love to read. We support our kids. We support our teens. And so there's lots of ways that you can be a friend to the library. We're always looking for volunteers to help either put gift cards together or help us run a book sale or donate books or donate funds as well. We have a link right on the Melrose Public Library's website for the Friends, and there's a big donate button right there. So any donation of time or money or experience is really helpful, and we are happy to take all of those things in this time and then also moving forward.
That's great. Well, Melrose is definitely not short of volunteers and people that want to help. And certainly in this time of the taping, we can definitely see that in our community. So it's great to know that people can volunteer at the events, get involved. And of course, we all, like you said, we all benefit from the library. I know for us, when we moved here, 8 years ago, it was the first place we went to, to kind of, you want to get your library card. And that's where you sort of learn about, okay, what's happening in the community, and you can kind of get to know your neighbors. So it's great that people can give back, with a contribution to keep up all these programs that we all benefit from. Well, believe it or not, that is all the time we have. I
Oh my
always tell
gosh.
people it goes by fast, and I'm a chatter. That's why we call it chamber chat. So I could keep chatting for many many hours here. But Kim, thank you so much for joining us, and having, all the work that you do around town, but certainly with the Friends of the Melrose Public Library. Um, and for those of you at home, I have no doubts in my mind that you're watching and you're thinking, I go into the library all the time and I didn't know some of this stuff. So one way that you can do this, or do more for the library, is to volunteer, stay connected, and think about making a contribution when you're able to. But until the next time, I thank you for watching and thank you for your support of our nonprofits in our community. I'm Lauren Grymek, and I'll see you soon.